was suddenly totally and completely awake. It was only 4 o'clock, the time that my father always used to wake me to help him with the milking. But he had been dead these last 30 years. Funny how the habits of my youth still clung to me. Normally I would just turn over and go back to sleep, but this morning I tossed and turned. I couldn't settle. It was Christmas Day. And as I lay there wondering why I couldn't get back to sleep, my mind slipped back to when I was 15, something which seemed to happen quite a lot these days. And I recalled a conversation that I had heard my father telling my mother. I wish I didn't have to wake Rob in the mornings to help with the milking. He's a growing lad. He needs his sleep. You should see how he sleeps when I go in to wake him. I wish I could manage on my own. Well, you can't, said my mother rather brusquely. And he's not a child anymore. He needs to take his turn. I know, said my father, but I wish I didn't have to wake him. And I realised then how much I loved my father and how much my parents loved me, even though they never told me or my sisters. They never had time for such emotion. They were always too busy on the farm. And so from that day on, I decided that I wouldn't hang about when my father woke me. I would jump up and go straight down to help him. A few days later, on Christmas Eve, as I was lying in bed, I was very excited about the next morning. We were quite a poor family, and the main happiness would be eating the turkey which we had raised ourselves on the farm and the lovely mince pies that my mother had baked. My sisters sewed little presents, and my parents always got me something useful, a jacket to wear outside, and sometimes, if I was really lucky, I'd get a book as well. I would have saved some pennies and bought some small gifts. And that year, as normal, I had given my father a cheap tie, and oh, how I wish that that year I had bought him something a little more special. And as I looked out of the attic window at the stars in the dark sky, I remembered a question I had asked my father. Father, what's a stable? And he had said, it's just a barn, son, just a barn. And I thought, Jesus was born in a barn, and shepherds and the kings gave him presents there. And a thought struck me like a silver dagger. I could give my father a gift in the barn. I could get up early the next morning, go down, milk all the cows, clean the barn, and be back in bed before he even knew. And so that night, my only worry was that I wouldn't wake in time, and I struck a match 20 times to check the time on my cracked watch. At 3 o'clock, I got up very quietly and got dressed. I crept down the stairs, taking care to avoid the creaking floorboards, and I went out into the barn, where the cows looked at me surprised and sleepily. After all, it was early for them too. I'd never milked on my own before, and as I set things up, I thought of how pleased my father would be when he came and saw that everything had been done. I could even imagine his voice saying, "What the?" And from then on, the milking seemed to come easily, and soon I had pails and pails of warm, fragrant milk. I tidied up and cleaned, closed the barn door, and hurried back up to my room, taking care of those creaking floorboards. And I got into bed just in time, as I heard my father coming up the stairs, and then the creak as he opened my bedroom door. "Come on, Rob, you've got to get up. Even though it's Christmas, cows need milking." "Okay, Dad," I said, and I smiled to myself as I listened to him going down the stairs. I lay there in my bed, wondering what he would be thinking. I don't know how long I lay there quiet, 5, 10, 15 minutes. And then I heard his footsteps coming back up the stairs, and he opened the door. "Rob?" "Yes, Dad?" And then a sobbing sort of laugh came out of him. "Thought you'd fool me, did you, son?" "Oh, Dad," I said, "it's for Christmas. It's a gift for Christmas. I want to be kind, I want to be thoughtful, and I want to be good. And I reached up my arms to give my dad a hug, and it was lovely to feel his strong arms hugging me back. I got dressed and we went downstairs, and it was one of the best Christmases we had ever had. My father kept telling my mother and my sisters what a wonderful gift I had given him. No one had ever been that kind before. No one had given him a gift so thoughtful. We remembered it every Christmas after, and now I have to remember it on my own. But love awakens love, and I thought I would like to give my wife a special gift this Christmas, a gift that she could have again and again and again. And so I went and got a card, and I got some pens, and I started writing to my wife. My dearest, dearest love. Such a happy, happy Christmas.